Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. So let's start our discussion with respect to the current affairs, right? So we are meeting after a gap, and I believe that all of you are studying well in this cold conditions, right? So winter has picked up and our pace of study should also picked up. So again welcome you all. Yes, good evening to all of you. So we are going to cover some important news with respect to your upcoming prelims exam as well as for your understanding of the things going on in diverse areas with respect to my subject, right? So first I will take this India Skill Report 2023. Okay, recently this India Skill Report 2023 came out. So this is news 1 in this India Skills Report 2023. So first thing is that what kind of question may be asked, right? So what kind of question UPSC may picked up is that which of the following organization is responsible to bring out this report, right? One question will be on this. Other question can be on the finding of this report, right? So this report is basically not released by any particular government organization, but it is a group effort, and it involves your CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, and All India Council for Technical Education. So basically this report is released by All India Council of Technical Education under Ministry of Education, AICTE, plus your Confederation of Indian Industries. So you might know this thing that in the past it was the complaint by various industries, various industrial bodies, that in India there is a skill gap. Means the graduates who get pass out from their college, they are unable to meet the industry's requirement. That's why government came out with different programs and schemes like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, right? Similarly, vocational training program, right? So as to meet the standards of the industry. And this report is effort in the same direction, that to assess that okay, in what areas there is a skill gap, what is the skill level of current working force, right? So that is the finding of this report. So one is this, that which all institutions are involved. So it is AICTE plus CII, right? Next, what we should know is that it says that India's employable workforce, the percentage of India's employable workforce has increased, right? And has increased from 46.2%. So this employable workforce, its percentage has increased from the previous 46.2% to 50%, right? 50 and exact is your 50.3. But in exam you need not to remember exact percentage. Only thing is you should have this idea that employment rate or employment percentage has improved. And one of the significant aspect of it, that in this is this rise in percentage, the share of women is high as compared to the men. So it means that women, the skillful women, have greater share. And that is, if you see that 52.8% of women workforce are employment, 52.8. So if I talk about women, so 52.8% of women workforce are employable. Means again, if I talk about workforce, so we should have this understanding. So suppose 100 people are there who are in the age group of working population, right? Right, means removing the child, the age of the child and the senior citizen. The middle bracket is known as the workforce population or workforce age group. And within this age group, those who are available to work, or those who are employable, means they have certain level of skills, they have certain skill set, so that they can be employed. It means that if 100 people are there, right, so these 100 people are in the age group of working age group, right, for example 18 years to your 60 years, right, means this is working population age. So out of this, if suppose these are 100 people, but 40 people may be illiterate, they may not have any skill, and this is 100, it include women plus men, right. So suppose rest 60 are available for the job, and out of 60 it is the mainly women who have more employability, who have greater percentage. So women is 52.8%. Next is your men. So your men percentage is low, so it is quite contrast, right, and men is 47.2%. so mainly it is women who are driving this percentage. Now even though this much percentage of women are available for this job, or they are available for to get employed, but in reality only 33% women are working. So suppose 100 women are available, so only 33% women are actually working. Rest are not working due to different reason. Maybe they are not allowed by their family due to lack of accessibility to job, and there are other conditions, security, social criteria, right? That is the other thing. So out of this only, means not this, means out of available women, out of all the available women, only 33% are working actually. So you can sense that still there is huge scope to engage more and more women in the job, right? Another thing is that in the past, World Bank has came out with this estimation that if the participation of women in India's economy is increased and at least match the global level, then India's GDP would get double. This was the estimation of World Bank, right? So this is certain things. Another thing, another finding which this report find, that there is a skill gap. And you know that today we all are, or you see that there is the area, the domain where more skills are required, is IT sector or technology related field, where you need more skill set. And if you look at the current focus of the government, even government is engaged in AI, cloud computing, big data analytics, right, big data. So again, the next generation or the coming force is required to upgrade itself into these areas. Even Niti Aayog in the past came out with its report that government itself requires more than 50,000 people per year for the next 5 years in the IT and this AI sector or big data analytics sector. So same thing is highlighted by the report also, and report found that there is a skill gap in the areas, of your cloud computing, data analytics or data science, AI, and it can be or other related fields, right? So mainly the emerging areas, the areas which are buzzword of today's world, right, where the companies are exploring more and more. And we know that in India we have a sound workforce in the field of IT, but within IT we need more and more skill set in these areas, because these are the emerging areas and these areas have the potential to further generate jobs. And the same thing was highlighted by Niti Aayog. Even government itself require the skill workforce to meet the government project, or you see the Digital India program. Even railways are upgrading them. Even there are program on artificial intelligence with various foreign companies. Indian government is collaborating, like Google, like Facebook, right? So tomorrow you people also have chance when you will become an IAS officer or other technical officer, you have this skill set, right? So for that government is providing training, but still there is a gap. Demand is high, supply is less. Simple concept of demand and supply in case of this. So report highlighted skill gap in these areas, right? These are the certain things. Another thing which report highlighted, that certain skill set are non-negotiable. Means if you are going to apply for a job, then it is well understood that you should have flexibility, you should have adaptability, because again, as we can see, that environment is fast changing, the technological environment is fast changing, the condition of the work space is rapidly changing, right? Because you can see the scenario of work from home, the use of software, even you see the way our education system has transformed. You all people are attending this class through at your home, right, through our internet services. So the way we are teaching, it is already transformed. You can see digital board in my background. Similarly, the way the work is being done, it is also changing with the changing scenario. So it requires greater adaptability and flexibility. If somebody will say that I am not accustomed to this kind of thing, then he or she may not be able to fit in those circumstances or in that particular job. So these things are non-negotiable. Means company will not give you a choice whether you can work from this platform or that platform. It is understood, it is required, right? So there is another thing which is highlighted by this report. So this is about a few things which you should remember, which you should keep in your mind with respect to the kind of information. This question can be asked in mains also regarding the India's skill gap. A direct question can be asked. So you can use certain points of this discussion, right? Moving to the next news. Next news is with respect to your recognition of Namami Gange program. So recently, United Nations recognized Namami Gange program as one of the flagship program which is undertaking restoration of the ecosystem of Ganga river. So it appreciated the efforts of the government. So here you can use this, that okay, the current government is doing something good. It is not about politics, that people say what BJP has done, what Narendra Modi has done, opposition may ask, but this is something, this is credible, which is recognized by United Nations, that yes, Namami Gange program has yield certain results. So your second thing is Namami Gange program recognized. So now what we have to take from this news? First is, again as an example we can use that Namami Gange is one of the one of the flagship program out of 10. So United Nations recognized 10 programs across the world. This Namami Gange is one of them. So this is an achievement for India. That yes, and for what category? Restoring effort. Restoration effort. Right? Restoration effort, and recognized by UN. Recognized by UN. So UN is celebrating UN Decade 2021. It is part of a UN program called UN Decade 2021. UN Decade 2021. Right? Under which the restoration efforts are being recognized. Right? So question can be asked that what is this UN Decade 2021? Or what is UN Decade program? And this UN Decade program is launched by United Nations Environment Program plus this FAO, right? United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. So this is jointly launched by United Nations Environment Program plus United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. So in prelims it can be asked that what is UN Decade? Simply, then UN Decade is about it is a special program which recognizes the restoration efforts, the preservation efforts across the world, where some substantial development has been achieved. And Namami Gange is one of the program which is recognized under this, right? So again, it shows the credibility. So this is how the news is important, okay? Moving to the next news. So means from prelims perspective, this thing is important, right? Rest, you can use this thing in your environment related question. In mains, in environment related question, you can mention that okay, government schemes and program are now yielding results. Substantiate results are being recognized. Means Namami Gange program means what happens in this area, means in this UN Decade there are certain parameters on which a project is selected. For example, that the stretch and on which this program is being implemented, what outcomes it has yielded, geographical changes, the ecological changes, that okay, what ecological benefit or ecological improvement this program has yielded. So areas where this program is being run across the this entire Ganga river area, right? So its catchment area and all the surrounding areas. So if it is yielding certain constructive, for example, the quality of water has improved, the ecosystem has improved, the quality of living around this stretch improved, it means this program, this restoration program is effective, right? So in that sense it is good. Next piece of information, next news is your group of friend. So again in prelims they can ask that what do you mean by this group of friend or this group of friend terms is used in what context? Group of friends. So in what context this group of friend term is used? Yes. So what is the answer for it? That in what circumstance or in what sense this group of friends is being used, right? So by the time you mention your answer, I am telling side by side. So this group of friends is an effort. This is an effort taken by the countries, right? The friendly nations like India, Egypt, Bangladesh, and so on, right? Other countries are there, right? I will mention these countries in the document, right? Nepal, Morocco, France. So different countries are there. So these are the countries which are the member of United Nations. They come together to take actions against the perpetrators, those who are killing the UN members of UN peacekeeping force. For example, means it is related to the mutual protection and recognizing the efforts to brought justice to those who killed the people engaged in UN program. For example, as we all know that United Nations has its peacekeeping force, UNSC, various countries are engaged in UNSC resolution, US peacekeeping efforts across the Africa, across the other parts of the world wherever there is some conflict is going on, right? So this is the duty of the nation to ensure that the member of this UN force, this peacekeeping force or UN mission should be protected. So this group of friends, it is a group of those countries who recognize mutually that okay, we will protect the people who are engaged in peaceful initiatives of United Nations, right? So these are certain countries, there are other countries also. So that group of friends is used in that context, right? And there is a special resolution of UN which is known as Resolution 2589. UNSC resolution 2589. This is a resolution, right? UNSC resolution 2589. Okay. So under this resolution talks about the protection of the people to bring out the justice to the member of United Nations who are involved in peacekeeping missions or any process. So under this resolution, these countries are taking collaborative efforts. Okay. So if tomorrow question comes that what is this 2589 resolution, right? So this resolution talks about it calls upon the countries to take appropriate measures to bring about a justice to those who killed in operation or who the people of UN has been attacked in the past, right? So that is a thing. So this is the group of friends. So a prelims kind of question can be asked either on this group of friends or this USC resolution 2589, right? And India is member of this. Next information is, this is a simple one. In the past also I told you about this, right? So it is about your Operation Surya Kiran or simply exercise Surya Kiran. So in between which two countries this Surya Kiran exercise is being held? Between which two countries? Yes. Tell me. Between which two countries this exercise is being held? right? So again, a kind of UPSC prelims question. So recently 16th edition was held. 16th edition was held, and this is a bilateral exercise between India and Nepal. India and Nepal, right? So remember, this is small fact, they can tell you. Yes, okay. So this is joint training exercise. Next is the term which was in the news known as doxing, because UPSC has this habit of asking surprising question. So next is this term doxing. So tell me, what is this doxing? We have heard about boxing. What is doxing? Yes. So because the surprising terms can be used, and then the UPSC will give you option that doxing is related to some skeleton, doxing is some virus, or doxing is the, taking away of money from your bank account. It is a kind of malware, kind of this computer virus, phishing virus, likewise, right? Or it is something related to some technological term. So what is this doxing? Yes. And it's very interesting term as well. Okay, so now let me tell you, this doxing is an informal word. It has not been defined legally as of now. So it is an informal term. And let me tell you the context. So recently, the account of certain journalists was suspended by the Twitter. As we all know that when Elon Musk took over as the chief of this Twitter, or when he took over the reign of this Twitter, Elon Musk, so one thing he said that he is clearing the nuances in the Twitter itself. He will make sure that Twitter is being used to spread credible information. The information should be authentic. Only the people who have credibility, authenticity, so that information should be spread. It should not be a platform to spread out some misinformation, right? So in that context, in the recently certain accounts of the US journalists who were engaged in spreading fake information or some malicious information which is not foolproof, so he suspended those accounts. He asked the company persons to suspend those accounts. In that context, this term doxing was used. It means that dropping certain document or information. Doxing means simply dropping some this document, dropping document or some text, right? So that is doxing. Doxing related to what? So dropping document, because in short we call document docs, MS docs, right? Docs file. If you go by your computer, if you save any file, in the background is docs file, right? Excel file, docs file, right? So it's similar. So that is doxing. So means you are dropping certain information which is not real, and which is dropped without taking the prior permission from the real information possessor or the holder. Suppose means it is against the privacy, it is the violation of the right of someone. So if suppose you are dropping any piece of information which belong to me or any personality without taking consideration, without asking prior permission from that personality, so it is kind of you are intruding in the privacy of that person, and you are releasing some information without the permission, and only God knows whether that permission is real or unreal, right? So again, and the purpose may be that okay, you are releasing certain piece of information to harass someone or to extract some money for extortion purpose or something, right? Or you can blackmail someone. So that is called doxing. Means that you are releasing some information on online platform without the prior consent of the person to whom that information is belong, or the one who is the legal possessor of that information. So it is like kind of stealing, right? So that is the meaning of term doxing. So this can be asked by UPSC, right? Next piece of information is your Canary Caves. Canary. So recently Canary Caves was in news. So what we should know about Canary Caves? First thing is their location, that where they are located. So where they are located, Canary Caves? Yes. Where they are located? And what is the context? Why this Canary Caves was in the news? Who can tell me the context? So Canary Caves was in the news because recently G20 delegation visited Canary Caves. G20 delegation. We all know that India is going to host G20 summit next year, means this year, now year is changed, right? So Canary Caves is there. So G20 delegation visited here. This is the context. It is near Mumbai, or within the Mumbai also you can say. So it is near Mumbai or Bombay. It is within the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. So it can be asked. It can be asked in that way that there is a cave, or suppose they will give you a small paragraph that okay, this is the cave which is within the premise of Sanjay Gandhi National Park. It is in the Maharashtra. It is known for its stupas, viharas. It is dedicated to your Buddhist site. So identify the cave, and then they will give you option Ajanta, Ellora, Canary, one more cave they can mention. So you should identify. So it is your Canary because it is the Sanjay Gandhi National Park, right? It is situated in Sanjay Gandhi National Park. Situated in Sanjay Gandhi National Park. So that's, in that sense, they can ask a question in that way. Sanjay Gandhi National Park. Right? Apart from that, as I said, it is a Buddhist site, Buddhist cave. Right? Bodhisattva is there. It is famous for its stupas, viharas. Right? And it was built by Buddhist monks around 2nd to 9th century. 2nd to 9th century, right? And this is AD. So don't confuse with BC. Right. This is about this thing. Next piece of information is your project P15B class. I am asking in that way. Right. So what is project P15B class? P15B class, already in the past also we discussed, right? So under this project, India is developing the naval destroyer, the ships, naval ships which are in the category of destroyer, right? So recently INS your Mormugao was commissioned in the Navy, INS Mormugao. In the past we discussed other also, right? So we should have this idea, P15, right? Mormugao. So we discussed INS Vishakhapatnam in the past, then INS Imphal, right? So on the names of the four side of the India, right? And Imphal, Vishakhapatnam, INS Mormugao, right? This way. So they are different things. So this is the surface to surface. That means it is equipped with surface to surface missile, surface to air missile, right? So it is a destroyer actually. So it is a destroyer. And what is the significant thing is in this, that in the project P15A, the component, India's indigenous component percentage was around 59%, means around 60% you can say. So 55 to 60%. This was the composition of indigenous component. Indigenous. But now in this P15B, this component has rised in P15B. It has rised up to 72%. So more and more Indian component, means we are trying to make sure that with coming time it will be 100% manufactured by India's only technology and Indian components only, right? Purely indigenous. So this is important, that context. Then next piece of information is your Dokra art. What is Dokra art? Next is your Dokra art. So what is Dokra art? Yes, tell me. What is Dokra art? And it is a traditional art of which state? Tell me. Yes. Tell me. Yes. So Dokra art, it is a traditional art of state of Jharkhand and in parts of Bengal, right? So it is traditional art of state of Jharkhand, parts of Bengal also. It is basically a metal casting art. Metal casting art, which basically use your ancient technology. So what ancient technology used? If you see the bronze sculptures, the bronze art of Cholas, so which technology was used there in the Chola Empire? Right? Tell me. What was the technology was there? Yes, lost wax technology. Lost wax technology. How you make any bronze sculpture, right? Especially in the times of this ancient Cholas, by using lost wax technology. You make a pot, you take a kind of design pot, right? So made of wax, right? So means this entire thing is here. Suppose this is a box, and suppose you are trying to draw some figure. So by using wax, you have carved out this space, right? And you know that once wax will be melted under heating, and when you, so this is wax, you have created this design. So once this surrounding metal gets set, it will make a design, and when you heat this wax slowly, because there will be a hole at the bottom, so this wax will come out, and then there will be a space, means this will become hollow, and then you will pour some melted metal. It can be a bronze, it can be a copper, it can be iron also. So when you fill that space with the melted metal, it will take this shape. So this is your lost wax technology, right? So you can get any shape by framing, by creating this kind of models, right? So this is based on, so this is metal casting, usually non-ferrous metal like copper, bronze that is used, and even metal iron can be used, right? So this is the Dokra art. Okay, and again this is a 5,000 year old. It is a very old technology, 5,000 year old. Even during your Harappa times also it was there, right? The next piece of information is, recently your palm leaf manuscript museum was inaugurated. So in which state it is being done? Palm leaf manuscript museum. Palm leaf manuscript museum. It can be asked in your prelims. So in which state it is being inaugurated? कहाँ पे किया गया इसको बताइए? In which state it is being inaugurated? Yes, tell me. Yes, it is in Thiruvananthapuram. Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. So again, this, as you know, you will read in ancient history that this palm leaf manuscript. So again, manuscripts are the written prescription or written notes, written things which prescribed in the old age, because in the old age we did not have these copies or the something to record. So usually people used to write on the this leaf of the tree or on the barks, tree barks or leaves. So palm is one of the common thing which were used to record certain data, and they have a tendency to get preserved, or means they remain preserved for over the years, up to 600 years. And again, in this palm leaf there are two category. In palm leaf there are two category. One is palmyra and another is teleport. So this palm leaf are of two type. Palm leaf are of two type, palmyra and another is teleport, Talipot. There are two varieties of this. So if suppose this is the palm leaf this way, so people used to write on this on their script, whatever script they follow, right? And then they punch different leaves together. In your NCERT you will find the photo of certain scripts. It is given in your class 6th NCERT, basic NCERT. So you can see that picture, right? And then they punch them so that a book kind of things can be there, compilation, binding can be there, and then they are preserved over the years, right? So this museum is being constructed here, okay, and this has two variety, okay. The last news to discuss is that recently UNESCO, the three more sites have been added to the UNESCO's tentative list. Tentative list is not the final list, means every country, and within the country there are different states which prescribe certain sites that this site should be added to the UNESCO cultural list or heritage list. So UNESCO will see whether that particular site will qualify as a UNESCO site or not. So recently 3 sites from India were added to this list, and it is up to the UNESCO to decide whether they are further qualified to get UNESCO tag or not. So right now they are in UNESCO tentative list. So let's see UNESCO tentative list. So 3 sites are there. So what are they? Yes, one is the hometown of Narendra Modi itself, your Vadnagar, Gujarat. Vadnagar, Gujarat. And why it is being added? Because it was at the crossroad of ancient trade routes. Means if it is your central India, it is your Sindh in Pakistan, and then your port city in Gujarat, and then your northern India. So it was at the crossroad here, right? So this is your Sindh, ancient route Sindh. This is central India. So trader from central India approach Sindh through this town. So it has lot of ancient towns, right? Ancient buildings. Then this is the port. We know that in Gujarat there were ancient ports, and then your northern India. So people from northern India access these ports through this Vadnagar, Gujarat. This is Vadnagar. Okay, so it is known for its ancient importance of trade routes. It was the crossroad, right? That is there. And then again there are certain buildings, industries, shell industries, bead industry was there. So all these things I will mention in the notes, don't worry. Next is Sun Temple at Madeira. Sun Temple at Madeira. Again it is in Gujarat. This is also in Gujarat. This is also in Gujarat. So it was built by Solanki dynasty. So built by Solanki dynasty. Solanki dynasty, and the time period is 11th century. 11th century, and the architectural style is Maru Gurjara. Maru Gurjara architectural style. So they can ask, UPSC can ask Maru Gurjara based on the dynasty. Maru Gurjara style of architecture. So these are certain basic facts, right? Then the third one is your site from northeast, that is Tripura, and it is Unakoti range, rock cut sculpture at Unakoti. So Unakoti rock cut sculpture. Unakoti rock cut sculpture. Rock cut sculpture at Tripura. At Tripura, right? So this is about, it is famous for its rock cut sculptures. These are the 3 sites. Okay. So here I am stopping. So keep learning. I hope that lot of information you have got through this discussion. So we'll meet again next week with different piece of information important for your exam at different stages. So keep learning, right? All the best. So thank you everyone. Good night.